Hey guys, it's Reefr isn't real. Just woke up, had a quick smoke and decided to record another trip report. Had a lot of people frustrated with how loud the music is in the trip report, so gonna turn that way fucking down. And yeah, just keeping the daily uploads going. Today we've got one of my own reports where I did 800 UG of LSD mixed with 120 milligrams of Ritalin. Alright, so here's the report. I was wandering around my neighborhood, frustrated because I couldn't find weed, and after a few hours decided fuck it, I'm gonna find some psychedelics instead. I go through my phone and after 30 minutes I found a deal from the most well-known acid dealer in the area to get 4 200 UG tabs. The walk was around 30 minutes away. I get to his car at 3 p.m, give him the money and just pop the tabs in my mouth, dab him up and leave. I could feel the tabs slowly set in on the 30-minute walk back with them on my tongue. I go to my bedroom and quickly become stuck to my bed. My friend calls me to see what I was doing. He coincidentally had 4 of the exact same tabs, which he was waiting for a time to take. Told him I took 4 tabs and they're hitting hard as shit, to which he replied he's gonna come over and draw 4 tabs. This barely registered in my mind. I thought my brain was the only thing in the universe. His mum drops him off, him seeming eager to trip, and me trying not to look like I'm insane to his mum. Around 2.5 hours in now, the floor's flowing like a river, visual so intense it's hard to walk. We go to smoke in my room, which he chops up a gram of bud and pulls out 2 Ritalin 60 milligram XR capsules and goes to release the capsule to snort, expecting powder, but was welcomed with a bunch of tiny beads. We put the beads in a bag and tried to crush them. We find ways to split it, but no matter what, it seems more beads would end up forming. We were fixated on this bag of beads for hours, him getting very frustrated because he just wanted to snort something. At one point my mum came in because we were yelling about beads. He eventually didn't want to look at the beads anymore, to which I just fiendishly downed the beads, to which he pulled out 2 more 60 milligram XR Ritalins, which we cheersed and swallowed in defeat, defeated by the beads. We spent most of the time playing with our hands, seemingly projecting our thoughts in front of us, which would get tangled in my hands. I don't know when the Ritalin kicked in, but I assume it's when he quickly started going quiet and freaking out and called his mum, saying he needs to go to the hospital and that his body feels like it's twisted in one direction. His mum tried to assure him it's okay, to which he would agree, then go back into a loop. We were smoking weed throughout this until eventually at 3 a.m. he called his mum again asking to be dropped off at the emergency room. The whole time I was too high to conjure a sentence. His mum picked him up and took him home. My mum asked if everything's alright, to which I just responded yeah. I went back and sat exactly where I was sitting and proceeded to listen to music while smoking the rest of the weed until 6 a.m, dancing and feeling amazing, constantly thinking about what happened and having conversations with my friends in my head. I didn't sleep the next day, which I feel that Ritalin had a lot to do with. My mate ended up being fine and wished he didn't call his mum. We just laughed at the thought of what it would have looked like if he actually went to the hospital. This was definitely the most intense LSD trips I've ever had. Explaining it in full depth would be like explaining the sound of a song to a deaf person. Felt like I had been doing acid wrong, only doing one tab. 4 felt the way to go, but it's not for the faint of heart. I have done the tour before, but find time seemingly goes faster and you're sedated. Even though you trip for days, those 12 hours can personally feel just as long when time no longer exists.